30s, and the condemned government have promised us that the cuts that they're going to impose, or try to impose, will put even Thatcher in the shade. Well, if that doesn't send a very clear and very decisive warning message to any decent thinking working class individual in the UK, then I'm not too sure what will. Now the reality is that we've already paid for the banking crisis once. When we bailed them out, we paid. But now they're going to make us pay again, or they're going to try and make us pay again, with public sector cuts and with public service cuts. And you know, it's great to see so many right-thinking people in this room tonight, and clearly you know, we can all go out and talk to other people and put up a good fight. It's absolutely fantastic. But we've also got attacks coming from the far right as well, the BNP, of course. They always come up out of the woodwork when things start getting tough. And of course their idea is to send people back home. You know, people who live here, that send them back home. But the reality is, you know, some of the workers from Poland, for example, and from China are doing very low-paid manual jobs in the UK. I feel more of an affinity with them than I ever do with people like the BNP. Do you know what I mean? So we've got a fight on our hands there as well. We're looking at public sector pension freezes. And you've just been talking about the fight that you had on your hands and your members had with the compensation scheme there. We can't allow it to happen. But if we mobilise, and we mobilise big, it can work. You know, the Vistian dispute, the Vestas dispute, you know, the Ford workers, proved that if you organise the workforce and you involve the local community, because on the Isle of Wight we did involve the local community, and it worked, you know, and that factory is now up and running, controlled by the workers, and making wind turbines, and it does work. To talk about my own industry, and someone was talking, I think it might have been yourself, my colleague from the CW, that workers are offered free shares as a bit of a sweetener sometimes in a privatisation process. Well, that happened on the railway back in the mid-90s. People were given free shares, employees were given free shares as a bit of a sweetener. And to a degree it worked, because I think within my industry, within my trade union at the time, I don't think we shouted as loud and acted as hard as perhaps we could have done. And I think if we'd have shouted a bit louder and kicked a bit harder, we might not be in the mess that we're in today. And the mess that we're in today is quite clear. Network Rail are now looking at a 27% cut in their renewals budget. That's over a quarter. Now the renewals budget is what they use to do track renewals. Well, if I start to talk to you about things like Hatfield, Ladbroke Grove, Potter's Bar, that's what